here is Tom Ackerman.
It is an absolute pleasure to be with you. What a night for the New York Knicks. We'll get to that at 10:45 today. The NBA team that I've been rooting for my life, and I'm not sure how many New Yorkers have gone to sleep. What a night that was, no doubt about it. We'll get into it. We also will hear from Chris May, the athletic director at St. Louis University. I'm not sure how many interviews he's done, if any, about this recent announcement, Mizzou and SLU coming together for their 3-year series. So I'm really looking forward to talking to Chris about that. At 10:15, though, coming up in 9 minutes, today is Flag Day. You know what that means. It's the day that Mike Claiborne determines where this team is, where they are in terms of this mile marker day for Claibs. So why wouldn't we have Mike Claiborne himself on the show? We are going to do that at 10:15. The Cardinals broadcaster will be with us on Flag Day. I'm not sure I've ever done that before, had him on Flag Day on sports on a Sunday morning. I know that it only hits on Sunday every so often. It's great to have Claibs on the show today. Also in the 11 o'clock hour, we will be talking to Jen Siess, another one of our own. The city broadcaster will be talking about the World Cup. The United States defeated Paraguay 4-1 and now sets its sights on Australia. We'll get the latest from her and get her account of the first watch party that happened at Energizer Park. At 11:30, the always enthusiastic Chaim Bloom. He is always happy to join us and talk about the very latest with the Cardinals. It's our most popular segment. I know that people make sure that they listen to it on our podcast, and we appreciate all of that. And we appreciate Chaim for being so dedicated every week to giving us the latest on the Cardinals. And we do have a lot of questions about the club, and then Bernie Miklasz will be with us at 11:45 for further analysis of the Cardinals. And folks, I got to tell you, this Cardinals team is fun. We've been telling you that all the time. This Cardinals team is interesting. It's energetic. It's unpredictable. And right now, this Cardinals team is playing some ball. First inning yesterday at Minnesota.
Here's the pitch to Herrera. He swings and hits it a mile to left field. 2-0 Cardinals. Upper deck home run, Ivan Herrera. That's the way to come back from that gut punch.
Seems like everything Chaim Bloom does turns to gold. He went and got Blaze Jordan. All Jordan did was knock his first major league hit on day one and have a great day overall. And then yesterday,
here's a deep fly ball to right field that goes off the wall, off the bat of Blaze Jordan. And he's going to go for 3 bases and make it with a sliding triple. He hit that ball just over Austin Martin's glove in right field.
John Rooney with the call on KMOX. Here comes Pedro Pages.
Jordan is the runner at third. 1 out. Infield in tight on the right side. Back a few steps on the left. And a line drive down the right field line. That ball's going to get down and go to the corner. Here is Pages racing for second as Martin has to chase that one. And standing with an RBI double, Pedro Pages. The Cardinals lead 3-0 in the second.
It was 4-0 after a Mason Wynn sac fly. And in the second inning, the Cardinals are up 4-0 on the Minnesota Twins. They just take the life out of them. But then things start to get interesting. Byron Buxton hits a home run. It's 4-1. Royce Lewis hits a home run. It's 4-2. And then in the 5th inning, a home run ties the game, and this is how it sounded on KMOX. Bottom of the 5th.
The pitch by Liberatore, and there's a drive left field going down the line toward the corner, and it's a home run. A 2-run homer tying the game. Keeshaw's second home run, giving him 23 runs batted in. The 4-0 lead is long gone.
And I can hear the Cardinals fans. I saw them. I mean, the text messages were coming, the messages on X. My goodness, what is going on with our pitching right now? Well, Ollie Marmol heard it too because he made a quick pitching change. He only allowed one more out after that, and he took Libby out of the game in the 5th inning. He put Matt Swanson in, and Swanson got a ground out, and then he struck out Buxton. So that was the end of that. And it was a 4-4 ball game in the 7th inning. The Cardinals faced Justin Lawrence, who struck out Nathan Church. Then he struck out Mason Wynn. But this lineup by the Cardinals right now, and it's just going to keep getting better and better. Remember, they're young and still learning, is stacked. Ivan Herrera.
2-1 pitch is hit high and deep to left field by Herrera. Did he get it? Oh, yes, he did. Another upper deck home run for Ivan Herrera. His second home run of the game, his 9th of the year, and he has given the Cardinals the lead 5-4 here in the 7th.
I hope they were paying attention in the upper deck on that one from Herrera, only to be eclipsed by this.
So it's Walker at the plate now, and he has a 2-0 count. How about back-to-back Jack? The 2-0 delivery to Jordan Walker is hit deep to left field. Back-to-back Jack. Home run for Jordan Walker. His 18th of the year, and the Cardinals now lead by 2.
The Cardinals with a 2-run lead, and they're not done. Alec Burleson with a base hit after Lars Nootbaar reached. That's 2 on for Blaze.
3-1 pitch is hit hard and deep. Left field. Could it go? It's a big fly. Home run for Blaze Jordan. His first in the major leagues. A 3-run shot, and the Cardinals have scored 5 times here in the 7th inning. What a great moment for Cardinal rookie Blaze Jordan.
And the Cardinals built a 9-4 lead on that first major league bomb, and certainly not the last from Blaze Jordan. But yes, the Cardinals bullpen got leaky again after Ollie Marmol got thrown out arguing with home plate umpire Adam Beck. He thought that an ABS challenge was illegal because Austin Martin appeared to look into the Twins dugout. Can't do that. You got to do ABS challenges on your own. You can't get any help. And the Twins started to chip away a little bit. They got a run in the 8th. They made things very interesting with Riley, or I should say Riley O'Brien made things very interesting by loading the bases. He walked Brooks Lee. He walked 2 others. The bases are loaded, but he gets a strikeout. He gets a ground out that scores a run, and he closes the game out, and the Cardinals win 9-6. We'll talk to Chaim about the bullpen, but we'll also talk to Chaim about the fireworks, and we're going to talk to Mike Claiborne about all of it. Are the Cardinals this good? What does he think? It's Flag Day. Claib's on the way in 3 minutes. Sports on a Sunday morning from the Stifel Sports Studio.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Right now, inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake up the markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs, so this is not the time to just hope it works out. That's why Steve Auld and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, June 16th at the All Financial Group office. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines may impact your returns, and whether your retirement strategy is truly stress-tested for today's economy. This event is complimentary, and you must reserve your seat today. 636-230-8824. You can also get more details online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or Registered Investment Advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here, and I want to tell you about FanDuel Sportsbook, which also happens to be the official sportsbook of KMOX. I've been having a blast with everything since they came online in Missouri, starting with football back at the beginning of the year, moving into basketball and hockey, and obviously baseball season now too. Well, now it's time for the biggest stage in world soccer. It's days away, And every goal changes everything, especially on FanDuel, because right now FanDuel is giving you a reason to root for every single one of those goals, introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right. So more goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. It's that simple. So go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started and let there be goals on FanDuel this summer. Just remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Must apply bonus token. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply, and you can see terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or biglou.com.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. It is great to be with you. It is Flag Day, and it is my pleasure to bring in my friend, Cardinals broadcaster Mike Claiborne. I'm so looking forward to this. How are you, Claibs?
I'm doing well, and happy Flag Day to you and all of our Cardinal fans out there.
It is a great day. First, let me just say I love the flag, and this is, I know today is about our appreciation for the American flag, and it is going to be a great celebration on July 4th, 250th birthday of America, and we're celebrating, I know, right now with USA and the World Cup and all the great things that are happening, New York partying and going crazy in America's largest city. This is also the day that we have had Mike Claiborne tell us that it is the mile marker, so to speak, for how the Cardinals are. It's a great day to determine where the Cardinals are. So, Claibs, give it to us. Where are they right now as you sit here on June 14th?
So let me kind of set the table on how we arrive at this. Between spring training and June 14th, you go through a lot of things. You have good weather, you have bad weather, you have injuries, you have people who surprise you, you have people who disappoint you, you have cold streaks, hot streaks, you have road trips, you probably go to the West Coast at least once, and you really have an idea of who you are, and not only as individuals but as a team, and that means from the manager on down. Does he have enough? Does he have enough support? And all those things you really can determine by today, and with that, you say to yourself, okay, this is who we are. What do we need to be better? And you have time. You don't have to wait until the trade deadline like some teams do, and then all of a sudden they think the chemistry is going to click, and sometimes it doesn't. So in this situation, you have a chance to know who you are, know what you need, and know where to get it, because it also includes the organization. Your scouts are out looking at other teams as well and seeing what players could fit in with this ball club. You also have teams that say to themselves, all right, are we renters or are we buyers? And there's a difference, because if you're looking to just move a guy at the deadline just because he's on a one-year contract, or you feel like you have something better, you move him, but you have to understand you're not going to get like their number one prospect in return. So you can be a buyer, which means you're going to be willing to move someone of value for someone plus of greater value, or reasonably equal value, but maybe greater value at the position you're searching for. So that's how you come to where you're at now. So with all that said, excuse me, I really like where the Cardinals are. I mean, you're 8 games over 500. You look at the division, Everybody's trying to figure out who they are. It's amazing. When we started the month, everybody was really happy about the fact that everybody in the division is over 500 or at 500. Well, that's changed a little bit. We're starting to see a little bit of separation. You're starting to see some teams that are really trying to figure out just who they are, and the Cardinals are one of them. So when you look at them as a ball club, you say to yourself from a ball club perspective, okay, what do you look like at first base? You're set. Second base, you moved Donovan to see if Weatherholt could fill that void. Mission accomplished so far. Mason Wynn is playing well. Then you had the situation at third base where you moved Arenado in his contract to see if Nolan Gorman could fit the bill. Didn't work. You go to the outfield. Lars Nootbaar didn't return until recently, so you had a number of different people playing left field. Some of them were okay, and some of them, it gave them the opportunity to move to center field when you think of Nathan Church. Jordan Walker is obviously the surprise of the season. In spring training, you saw him like everyone else. We were kind of scratching our heads saying, maybe they ought to leave him in Memphis. Well, that would have been a huge mistake because he's one of the best players in the game right now as we speak. Your catching situation is one that you like to be better behind the plate as far as throwing runners out, and then Pages was able to do it, but offensively he didn't give you enough. You had Jimmy Crooks you wanted to get a longer look at. Herrera wanted to catch, so you give him 2 days out of the week, and he's been good so far. I think the home run power, I think he sacrificed with his catching because I think there's a lot more that goes into catching these days than you think. So there you have your 8. Now we get to the most important part, pitching. And if there's one need in this ball club, they need more pitching, period. And you could talk about another starter, but I think you have to look at your bullpen because you need 2 legitimate closers, okay? The game has changed where, you just call down the bullpen and here comes Suter, or here comes Chapman, or here comes whomever, and you could do that because you had a starting staff that could give you more than 5 innings, which meant you didn't have to use a closer every night like you do today. I mean, you have a team now with the Cardinals who have two pitchers who can't get through the 5th inning. And that's a problem because it all of a sudden puts more angst on your bullpen on a regular basis. So there are going to be nights where you won't have certain people because of the night before. There are going to be nights where you're going to need a shutdown closer, but you used him 2 nights in a row, and he's not going to be available to you. And one of the great things about Oliver Marmol is the fact that he knows how to manage a bullpen. He and Dusty Blake have done a phenomenal job with some short pieces because we thought Ryan Stanek was going to be the guy. Hasn't been what you'd hoped for. Plenty of room for him to grow into the position. We thought Matt Swanson was going to be that maybe 1A closer. He had some problems. He's come back now. He's looked much better. Then you have Riley O'Brien, who got out to a great start, and now he's kind of hit a bump in the road. And then you have some other pieces that you're figuring out just who they are. And I guess the most pleasant surprise has been George Soriano, and maybe he could be your 1A closer. I don't know. So that's kind of what your ball club looks like. So my thing is you have to find more pitching. And is it in your organization? That's the question, because if it's not, it's time to look now because everyone is looking for pitching. And everyone thinks they have the pieces in order to make sure they can get that one person to get them over the hump. Think about it, Tom.
Yeah.
There's some really good teams with some high payrolls that are scratching their heads on what are we going to do now. The Cardinals don't have that to worry about as far as high payroll, but they do want to be better. And I guess it comes down to who in Memphis is ready to take that next step.
I was going to say, is Luis Gastelum ready for that? Is Max Rajic ready for that?
Yeah, I think those are the next 2 guys that you have to take a look at. I mean, Gastelum caught everybody's eye in spring training with the changeup. Now, he's been touched up a little bit since then, but I think we see enough of him to say, okay, this is a guy we might want to take a longer look at. Max Rajic was the pitcher of the year 2 years ago in the organization. Kind of hit a bump in the road last year. This year got out to a little bit of a slow start, but his most recent outings, he's been very good, and so maybe he's a guy. Now, with that said, that means you have to make some other 40-man roster moves because those guys are not on the 40-man. So There's going to be a tough decision to be made here somewhere along the way if you think they're ready to step in and contribute from this point moving forward.
And then with regard to the starting rotation, Libby does it again. He can't go deep into a game. Leahy struggles to go deep. Sometimes Palante. I'm curious how this rotation is going to look as we advance this season, because Dustin May, I think the whole reason for acquiring him was that you could deal him at the deadline, and the Cardinals certainly aren't going to be massive buyers at the deadline. So that's going to complicate things a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And, the question is, and you make a good point, we thought, well, we'll get him and then we'll move him at the deadline.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think you can get for a guy who's on a one-year deal? I mean, it's not like somebody's going to say, well, we'll give you our second or third best prospect. No, we don't want to go that route again, because I think if we learn anything between the Flaherty trade to Baltimore and the Montgomery trade to Texas, now Thomas J.C. has turned out to be a capable player, but not the player I think you were hoping for. And Cesar Paredo's, I think, the last of the Mohegans from the Flaherty deal. So you have to make sure that if you're going to move a guy, you have to know what you're getting in return, and can they help you? I mean, and we're not talking about 3 years down the road. We're talking about here in the present, or certainly near that time, where he's going to get more of an opportunity to play with St. Louis than he is with the team he came from, because maybe there was a block at that position.
You laid it out so beautifully, and the pitching depth there for the rotation just isn't there. I know people are like, we got to find starters that can go deep. Well, who? I mean, there's not much behind these six. Hunter Dobbins has now joined the rotation. The other part is, and I know they're not ready to do this, I don't think yet, but my goodness, is this lineup going to be scary when Joshua Baez joins at some point? I mean, this lineup is ferocious right now.
You're right. It will be. And, when is that? I think it's next year. Joshua Baez can hit a fastball. It has been proven in Memphis that he can hit a fastball. The breaking ball has been a problem. So, you know what? Why rush him? Let him figure it out. Give him the chance that maybe we should have given Jordan Walker. But let him stay there and figure it out. One of the things the Cardinals have done in their offseason is invested in development and performance. And those are the people who will come in and help him get there further a lot quicker. So let's just play that out, and let's not worry about him right now, because there's not an urgent need for him. But you're right. When he does roll into town, we're expecting him to be here for good and not be on the Memphis shuttle.
Claib's joining us on Flag Day. Before we go, you're a big NBA fan. I just got to ask you what you thought of last night as the New York Knicks finally get it done. First title in 53 years.
Yeah, I was a San Antonio Spurs guy. I thought the Spurs were that young team, and, they showed a number last night, the youngest team since 1977 to get to the NBA Finals. So that tells you something right there. But you know what? Bully for the Knicks, they earned it. Brunson was just incredible. They got some good bench help as well. I don't know if they're going to be repeaters, because, as you know, in the NBA, nobody repeats anymore. This is the 8th different champion in the last 8 years. And I think it says a lot about the structure of finance. It says a lot about what the salary cap has meant to that league. If you recall, they were one of the first to implement a salary cap. And it's worked out where every team has a legitimate shot. Now, if you make a bad draft choice, that's your problem. But from a money standpoint, if you know how to manage your money, you can make a competitive bid every year. And we saw it last night with New York. But San Antonio will return, although that Western Conference, man, with OKC and Denver, and you have some other teams that are starting to make a move in that direction. The NBA, I think, is going to be as competitive as it's ever been with regard to the number of teams that are going to be right there knocking at the door for next year.
I agree. The Knicks had a window where they had to get it done, and they did. They did it in a year that right. I think they really had to get it. Flag Day, there's no person I would rather have leading off the show than Mike Claiborne, and my gosh, did you deliver today. Thank you so much for all of it.
All right, Tom, looking forward to seeing you this week. Cardinals back home for 3. It's a short series against San Diego. and then we roll over to Kansas City and try and do some business against the Warriors. This is a very pivotal week because you really have a chance, Tom, to go well over 10 games over 500. And once you get over 10 games or over 500, I think you make a real statement about that you're in it. So let's see how things unfold.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. The Cardinals are 8 games over 500. They have had 3 attempts at getting to 10 and haven't been able to get there yet. We'll see if they can pull it off. Claibs, have a great week. Thanks so much.
All right, you too, Tom. Take care.
Mike Claiborne with us on KMOX Sports on a Sunday morning. We'll be back with SLU Athletic Director Chris May back after this.
I feel like I'm getting robbed when I bet the Stanley Cup on a sports book.
Dude, delete that app. You need to be using Polymarket.
Polymarket?
Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for greedy sports books.
Even during the Stanley Cup?
Especially during the Stanley Cup. Polymarket is an official prediction market of the NHL.
No way. What's the catch?
No catch. And it's available in all 50 states. Polymarket is so confident you'll never go back, they're giving you $50 free on your first trade.
I'm deleting my sportsbook app. How do I get started?
Download Polymarket now and use promo code SHOT for $50 free for your first trade. Stop letting sportsbooks steal from you. Download Polymarket and use promo code SHOT for $50 free on your first trade. Use promo code SHOT.
Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Don't miss the hot tub and swim spa blowout sale this weekend at the St. Charles Convention Center. Over 25 American-made units on display. Immediate delivery and financing available. For more info, call 1-800-SPA-SALE.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Ins 8-1 exclusions apply.
You like the word thorough? It's a good word, thorough. It means complete, accurate, detailed. Well, when you go to Ophthalmology Associates, you will get a thorough eye examination. The technology's incredible. It's all up to date, the very latest. And Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer and their staff will make your visit very personal. That's because they believe every patient is unique. Ophthalmology Associates takes all the research and technology and their personal knowledge and expertise and tailor it into an eye care plan that is as unique as you are. Services include everything from expert treatment of cataracts and retinas to comprehensive eye exams for you and the kids, and a full-service optical shop with a ton of frames to choose from. Ophthalmology Associates, 3 St. Louis area locations. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
It's great to be back with you. Sports on a Sunday morning from the Stifel Sports Studio, indeed. Let's listen to Josh Schertz.
Yeah, I think came together. Honestly, Dennis reached out to me. I think it's probably a situation where it's a great time for both teams to play. You know, we both programs are in the right place from a trajectory standpoint. I think it's an opportunity in this NIL era. Play the games at Enterprise. You know, we think both fan bases really show out for it.
I would agree. And joining us is the athletic director at St. Louis University, Chris May. Everybody buzzing about this. It is a done deal, a 3-year contract between SLU and Mizzou. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Tom. How are you today?
Doing great. You know, I'm feeling good. The Knicks won the title. Our man Brian Clifford's a happy guy. You know that as well.
And it's Flag Day.
And it's Flag Day.
I was texting with him after the game last night. He was fired up, as all Knicks fans are.
And Mike Claiborne just broke down the Cardinals for us. It's a happy time. I mean, I'm as happy as can be. How happy are you right now? I'll tell you what. Let me start with this before we talk about Mizzou. I went to the first practice last week at Chaffetz, and my comment to Earl Austin Jr. as we were walking off the floor, I said, it's a long time coming. I said, I think we've been waiting a long time for a team like this. With all respect to Robbie Avila and with all respect to Gibson Jimerson, two of the better players that we've seen, this SLU team looks deep. It looks athletic. It looks physical. And I think it's going to be a problem in the A-10.
Yeah, Tom, we're thrilled with our team. I was blessed. I was out of town the first couple of days, but I got to see them in their first scrimmage on Friday. And, yeah, per your point, they look different. But the key is those returners. They're fired up and ready to go. Trey Green was back in his same old form. He didn't hit the rim on about 8 threes that he put up. I mean, it was unbelievable how he looks. And so the returners are fired up, and there's clearly size that we haven't had in the past. We look a little different, but it's early, but we certainly feel great about where we are in June. A lot of work to be done. Josh is thrilled with the talent that we have, as we all are. It took a lot of work to get us here. But it sets us up to have a great season and to really build off of what happened last year. Went undefeated at home, obviously had a great ball game in the NCAA tournament. Now we got to figure out how to take the next step in the NCAA tournament. And so that's what all of this is about, is how do we make runs in the NCAA tournament and have St. Louis really embrace the Billikens as their team, as the community did last year. That's what was so rewarding, is that the St. Louis sports community really rallied around this team and came out and supported, and it made Chaffetz Arena an electric, great place for college basketball, which we all know it can be.
Yes, as the season went along, you could see the casual sports fan take more interest in the Billikens too and say, what's going on now? So that's our team. And then they start to go, and once they go, they realize this is an entertaining product and I'm going to come back. And as you mentioned, it took work to get this team, this current edition, to where it is. Can you take us behind the curtain a little bit as to what sort of work that entails, keeping your coach, getting the players, and everything in between?
Well, it was all the above, from the conversations that started with bringing guys back, and Josh and his staff did a fantastic job of really starting that early. So we were in a great space, and then anytime you have a very, very gifted and talented coach like Josh, and people are going to come wanting to talk with him. And at the end of the day, I couldn't be more happy and thrilled that we were able to come together and put together a plan and a package for him, but a real plan that we believe we could compete at the highest level in college basketball. Because every conversation that Josh and I had was about, how do we chase success? How do we really chase success at the highest level? And from across the board, whether it's facilities, rev share, how we travel, the coaching staffs, we are in a space that St. Louis University has never been before. And so now is our moment to really seize the moment and take advantage of it and go hard and see what we can do. And it took everybody, from unbelievable leadership from our president, Dr. Fazer, to the chairman of the board, Eric Engler, to our donor base, to our community. But it doesn't happen without everybody being all in to support this team. The community coming out like it did, that helped. I mean, it's taken everyone pitching in, and everybody's done such a great job to put us in this position. And now now we're working hard to put that team on the court. I tell you, the great moment was I'm in the office. I walked into the office about half hour ago. I always stop in the gym, and Jax Kerr's down there getting shots off. And Badar is down there getting shots off on a Sunday morning, day off. They're in there looking at film and getting shots off this morning. And so we've got a highly motivated group of young men who are fired up to be Billikens, who are fired up to play together. And so when you have all those pieces, there's a lot of excitement in our building, no question. Yeah, and you mentioned that length. I mean, Sheik, J-Mo is a big guy. Obviously, Jax. I mean, these are big boys, and that's going to – and again, with all respect to past teams, I mean, you have to have it. You have to have size, and they gave it all they had. But now you can roll different players off. I guess the one question hanging out there is who will handle the ball. I think they're going to expect a lot of people to handle the ball. Well, I think Josh has done it before here. He's done that by committee. He's done it by committee very, very well. And and those things will evolve. When you've got people that can shoot it like Ishan and Trey and Q and others, Luke can really shoot it. And then you've got athleticism and unbelievably playmaking skills like you've got with Kellen and you've got with Amari. I mean, those guys are loads. Those guys are hard to slow down. And then you've got, as you mentioned, some of the bigs that you brought in. It's going to be really a great thing to watch and see it evolve. And I'm so glad you were here in week one. I encourage people in week one. We're actually going to have an open to the public event, I believe, on Thursday night, July 2nd, after the first month of practice, to let everybody come see these guys. Because I think people are going to be really excited and see what they see. And that'll give the team a little bit time to develop before we really open it up to the public, so they don't have to see when the balls are flying into the fifth row. Because when you've got athletes like this, at times it's an interesting moment in practice. But no, they are working hard, and I can tell you, Sunday morning right now, they're in the gym listening to KMOX, listening to Coach Ackerman, and getting shots off. That's what I want. Elijah Strong looks like a guy who's going to be tough to move in the post, and Alone McKaylee, same thing. I mean, it's impressive. Amari looks huge. He's hit the weight room. Kellen wants to be a complete player, wants to bring the ball up the floor and be an impact guard from that standpoint. So it's a very impressive team. And then, of course, this Mizzou game, which – a lot of people would reach out to me, Chris, and be like, I hear you poking Mizzou all the time. I'm like, look, I grew up a Missouri fan, and I covered the 3 games that were great at the Dome, at Hearn Center, and at then Kiel Center. And I just wanted somebody to initiate the conversation. As it turns out, Josh Schertz says it was Dennis Gates. Credit to him. He called Josh Schertz and said, let's do this. Yeah, I think as you had on the clip with Josh, it's the right moment for it to happen. It's, as everyone knows, we certainly were interested in playing for a long time, but you got to get the right moment. And from the minute, it's taken a long time, but this is clearly a moment right now where it's a win-win for both programs. 2 high-level teams. This is going to be on the national stage on week 1 of the college basketball season. Coach Gates has really put together one heck of a team over there, and we feel great about our team. And so after the 2 coaches spoke, and Larry Beach, who's a longtime friend, gave me a call, I said, hey, if you're interested in rolling our sleeves up and putting a win-win deal together, let's do it. And he said, absolutely. And so we couldn't be more excited to be able to kick off the college basketball season in week 1, is doing it at the Enterprise Center with a lot of eyeballs on us, both regionally and nationally. And it's a great opportunity for both of our schools, both of our universities, to really promote college basketball and promote what's the great things happening in this state with both schools. And so we really we think it's a win-win for everyone, and it's going to be an exciting event. There's no question about it. While we have you, Chris, we do want to highlight some of your other programs. Let's start with soccer. How are things going there, men's and women's soccer? Well, it's coming fast and furious, Tom. The women show up on July 15th. They start practice on July 15th. They open with Alabama. They play Alabama and KU at home. They open with Alabama on August 12th. And Kevin, obviously, coming off of the great season. He opens. He's got SMU, Akron early. We go to Notre Dame. I really expect our men's team to be top 10, if not top 5 in the country early. He's got 90% of his starters back, and Coach Kalish had an incredible portal season. Portal's not just in basketball, Tom. Kevin had some big time gets in recruiting in the offseason, as Katie did. Katie got a huge transfer from a Big 12 school, and so we are really excited that we've got a shot to have 2 great soccer teams this year. And as I've said before, between our 2 soccer coaches and our 2 basketball coaches, we've got as good as there is in the country, and we're really excited about them.
How about baseball and softball? Both just completed their seasons.
Well, they both completed their seasons, and they're in the middle of the portal right now. And Miles Miller's doing a really nice job of putting a team together, putting all the pieces together to really put his team. And Christy Canoyer, as you know, there's no better than Christy at really managing. She has this unbelievable combination of incredibly bright young women playing softball and really great softball players. And so they're every year top 5 in the country in GPA. A year ago, they won the championship, won the NCAA tournament. They'll compete to win the tournament this year again. And so our volleyball team's going to have a great team coming back. So there's a lot of excitement on campus right now. I can't believe it's June 14th because it feels like it's August already, because we got kids rolling in here, training, and getting fired up for the fall. I saw one of our pitchers was out running cones, a young guy who had a big time surgery, Josh Cunningham, and he was out running on Friday. He was running the cones, and I couldn't believe how great he looked. And so we have an environment right now departmentally that guys and women are working out with Coach Jake and everybody in the strength area, and they are fired up, getting ready for a big season. And so, success breeds success. And we have a lot of young people who are walking in the halls right now, looking at those soccer guys who went to a college cup, looking at the men's team who got after people in the NCAA tournament and really trying to elevate all of their games. And so it's clearly an exciting time. But Tom, we're going to be playing soon, and we couldn't appreciate what you and KMOX have done to really help position the Billikens for another great season. We're coming off of one, but what Josh and Kevin and Katie and Rebecca and everybody, what they're doing right now is doing the work to get us ready. And so we're thrilled. And clearly November 6th in the Enterprise Center will be a great day for college basketball in not only St. Louis, but in our region. And we're super proud that it's happening, and we'll make it great.
It's going to be a great showcase for college basketball. Yeah, Rebecca's got some length on her women's team now, for sure. We'll get into all that at another time. We've spent enough time, but I really appreciate all this time, Chris. Thank you for updating everybody on SLU, and best to you this summer. Happy Flag Day, my friend.
Hey, happy Flag Day. Let's go. We'll talk to you later. Roll Bills.
All right. There he is, Chris May, the athletic director at St. Louis University. We'll take a break. The New York Knicks are world champions. Back in a moment.
Hi, this is Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes, and this is it. Make no mistake, this is your last chance to live in Summerlin and O'Fallon and save big on the 2 remaining market homes. Not only do you save over $50,000 off the price of the home, but you can also take advantage of special 4.75% financing for those that qualify. Visit McKelveyHomes.com. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
Grab your shades, your float trip gear, and join us June 17th for Chris and Amy Day at Busch Stadium.
We'll be broadcasting live from the Mississippi Yacht Club pop-up bar outside Gate 1, hanging with fans and serving up some fun behind the bar.
Live music, Fred Bird's special guests will all be there. Plenty of chances to stop by and say hello.
Plus, you can sit with fellow Chris and Amy listeners in our special section for just $15.
June 17th.
Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark. $15 tickets.
Get your tickets now. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy.
Go Cards.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
In 1991, John and Cindy Morelli started Morelli Tuck Pointing. As of today,
They've won just about every award possible for the tuck pointing business. The BBB Torch Award, the Next Door Neighborhood Fave Award, and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. For homeowners, this is a great time to get a free inspection of your basement, your brick or stone fireplace, your garage interior, your porch, and maybe even your walkway. Indoor tuck pointing can be started now. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. My wife Beth and I have used Morelli Tuck Pointing to work on 2 of our homes now over the last 25 years. We have found the Morelli bids to be fair, their crews are very polite, and they clean up after themselves. But most importantly, their work is beautiful. Family owned and operated since 1991. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
With summer here and the kids home full time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Ready for a fresh start? The Excel Center in St. Louis is here to help you earn your high school diploma, tuition-free and on your schedule. With convenient locations in downtown St. Louis and Florissant, you can learn at your pace with support every step of the way. Need childcare, career coaching, flexible classes? We've got you covered. Registration is now open. Don't wait to take the next step toward your future. Visit excel.mersgoodwill.org to enroll today. This community message has been brought to you by Together Credit Union.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Fox, 5 seconds remaining. Fox to Wemby. Wemby tries a 3, puts it up, off the mark. Anunoby the rebound. It's over. It's over. Knick fans, this is not a dream. Your long, long wait has ended. Go ahead and cry. After 53 years, the Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Mike Breen with the call on ABC and ESPN, and an incredible moment for New York City. I've said it many times. You can talk about the Giants and Jets, the Yankees and Mets, the Rangers, the Islanders. The Brooklyn Nets don't really fit into this conversation. When they were in New Jersey, they struggled to sell out an NBA Finals game 20 years ago. This is a basketball town in New York City, and they just never had a team that they could celebrate, and now they can. The New York Knicks are the team that unites the city, and they have won the NBA title for the first time since 1973. Here is the man of the hour, the MVP of the NBA Finals, Jalen Brunson.
We're going to find a way. Whatever you put in front of us, we're going to find a way. It doesn't matter. It does not matter whatsoever. We're going to find a way every single time we step on this court. Every time. I got no words. Everything I ever dreamed of.
You can just hear the emotion in the voice of Jalen Brunson. I could tell you all about the history of the Knicks and what it means to their fans and how this ties into the city, but I think of all the interviews that I was able to watch, and believe me, I've taken in a lot of Knicks content over the last 12 hours, This right here I thought was very special, and this is so Mike Breen. Breen, the longtime voice of the New York Knicks, and now that voice that you just heard on national television on ESPN, stopped for a moment to talk to this young reporter from Pix 11. That is a local station in New York, right on the court at Madison Square Garden.
It's wonderful. I feel so happy for the fans. You know, I've been a fan since I was about 7 years old. I've been a Knick broadcaster for more than half my life. So I've been around Knick fans forever. They're so loyal, and to see them rewarded, because even in the bad years, they never went away. They stuck by, and for them to have a night like this is wonderful.
I heard a story where you said you had a fan reach out to you one time and say, we know they're bad, tell us about the players to look forward to. Well, since Leon Rose has taken over this organization and putting these pieces together, there's been a lot of players to look forward to. When you think about the way this team has come together over the past few years, I mean, have you ever seen a team built the way these Knicks were built before?
Well, that's what makes it so special, because so many people took a part in it. I mean, Leon changed everything, and all 5 starters he acquired. He's the one that hired Mike Brown. It's a tremendous accomplishment because it's so hard to do. Winning a championship is so hard.
Mike Breen with Pix 11, such a great interview. If you can look it up and watch it, it's about 3 minutes in length, and he does such a great job of, I think, being a professional like he was during the entire NBA Finals, the enthusiasm he gives for both sides, and you could just see the emotion for him and for all Knicks fans. It's a great celebration of a team that played hard and represented the city extremely well. I grew up a fan of the Knicks because my dad took me to the Garden along with one of his best friends who was living in New York City. I saw Patrick Ewing play against Larry Bird, and I said, yeah, I want to be part of this. And I lived and died with them, ups and downs through the years, and now here they are. I always wondered what that was going to be like last night, and it was very special. Back after the news.
Hey, it's Matt and Leslie Holiday. When we got to St. Louis, it wasn't long before we started searching for a way to give back.
We visited Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, and we knew this is where we belonged.
Homers for Health has been going strong for 15 years and has made such an unbelievable impact on the hospital. I've won a World Series, but I consider the work we have done at Cardinal Glennon to be the greatest achievement.
Yes, your support truly makes a difference. Make your pledge for patients today at homersforhealth.org to benefit the devoted fund.
Don't miss the hot tub and swim spa blowout sale this weekend at the St. Charles Convention Center. Over 25 American-made units on display. Immediate delivery and financing available. For more info, call 1-800-SPA-SALE.
Homeowners, I know a lot of you are worried about one thing when it comes to selling, and that's leaving money on the table. Hey, this is Kevin Wheeler. I'm here with Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So, Gloria, how do you help sellers make sure that they get top dollar?
The reality is, most homes don't sell for what they should. I see it happen all the time. They either price it wrong or they don't create enough demand. But with over 2,400 buyers in my buyers in waiting database and my exclusive pricing strategy, I'm able to offer my seller a 100% market value guarantee. And if I can't get you 100% of your home's market value, I'll pay you the difference. So you don't have to wonder if you left money on the table. You can sell with confidence, knowing you maximize your sale.
Make sure you get every dollar for your home. That's why you call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Hey, one more thing before we go to the news, and this is our parlay of the day, sponsored by Circus Sports, sports betting the way it should be. I'm just going to say, I don't talk about when I'm right, but I think I was right on this one. I think it's been about a month, maybe 6 weeks of this feature where I told you that the Knicks were going to win the NBA title. I felt very strongly about it. I hope that you took my advice, and if not, that's okay because it's all for fun. It's just basketball. But that was our parlay of the day. Sponsored by Circus Sports, sports betting the way it should be.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circa Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circa Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. President Trump on social media criticizing Israel for striking Lebanon, saying it should not have happened and it should not disrupt the important process of a potential peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. The U.S. continues to show optimism that a deal could be agreed to as soon as today. But as for Israel's position, Avner Vilan is a former senior Israeli intelligence officer.
I don't think this is necessarily Bibi trying to sabotage the deal. However, we know what he thinks about the deal, and I'm sure this actually crossed his mind when he ordered that strike in Beirut.
Referring to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Today, President Trump joins Joe Biden as the only president to turn 80 while in office. He'll mark his birthday by attending a UFC fight on the White House South Lawn. The New York City Police Department says at least 63 people were arrested in the aftermath of the New York Knicks winning their first NBA championship in 53 years. This is ABC News. One town in northwest Indiana is facing a serious cleanup after an EF2 tornado. Evelyn Holmes from affiliate WLS is there.
Officials say the storm caused extensive damage to hundreds of homes and local structures. Fortunately, no serious injuries have been reported.
We have officers that are working around the clock just to patrol the heavily destroyed areas in the northern part of town.
One confirmed tornado went through the northwest Indiana town around 7 o'clock Thursday night. The National Weather Service classified the storm system as an EF2, which can pack winds up to 135 miles an hour.
An Oklahoma father says his daughter's clinically brain dead after she tried the Benadryl challenge, which involves taking heavy doses of diphenhydramine. Richard Preston says parents should monitor their children's TikTok challenges.
Watch out, for new trending challenges and, look for signs of it. Look them up, see what they mean.
Brian Clark, ABC News.
KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood.
At 11:02, the sun is out in downtown St. Louis, and it is warming up. It's 70 degrees with some clouds. I'm Tom Ackerman, and these are the stories making news. Maria Kina reported that around 5:30 Saturday evening, that is when eastbound 70 was finally shut down at Tucker following a street collapse at Broadway and Biddle.
Other closures, eastbound 70 at Union Boulevard and South Broadway at Cass Avenue, and restrictions for eastbound 44 or northbound 55 drivers, traffic there being diverted off at the Poplar Street Bridge, as well as for westbound 64 drivers coming in from Illinois, you cannot exit at Walnut. Ameren, Missouri tells KMOX they were notified of the collapse around 6 Saturday morning. There are pillars for eastbound 70 on either side of where that collapse is, yet it still took 12 hours to shut down the highway. KMOX wanted to talk with city officials. We were advised no one's available. So instead, they released a statement saying in part, quote, upon notification of the incident, the city activated all appropriate departments and response partners, including MoDOT and utility companies, to assess conditions, secure the site, and coordinate response efforts. KMOX talked with MSD and Ameren because they both have infrastructure in that massive hole. It is still not known what caused it. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
It is believed to be caused by a water main break, and the city's water infrastructure problems and the need for massive overhaul was presented Saturday with that huge sinkhole. St. Louis aldermen gave first-round approval to raising rates more than 80% over 6 years. Sponsor Michael Browning says years of artificially low rates has left the division deep in the red with century-old pipes and a backlog of work it can't pay for.
Without sufficient rate increases, and without additional funds, it will not be possible to operate through the next fiscal year or replace and repair our aging infrastructure proactively or when it breaks.
City officials say St. Louis water rates have lagged behind St. Louis County and Kansas City for years, even as aging mains keep breaking. The rescue plan leans on the rate hikes, money from the Rams settlement, and borrowing. A final vote is still to come. Let's take a look at our weather from the AccuWeather office.
For the rest of today, a shower in spots early on, otherwise breezy as clouds break for some afternoon sun, high of 76 degrees. Mainly clear and more comfortable for tonight, low of 57. Tomorrow, partly sunny, nice day, high of 76 degrees. And partly sunny and more humid for Tuesday. Watch for a thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon. Temperatures rising up to a high of 76 degrees. And for Wednesday, active once again. Watch for heavy thunderstorms, possible severe weather as well, with a high of 84. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Matt Benz on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Partly cloudy, 70 downtown to the Arch. Just a couple of other traffic notes in addition to what Maria laid out with all of those road closures. That utility work, eastbound 44 at 64, has all lanes closed, and the update from MoDOT is they expect that to run through at least June 19th. That would be Friday at 10 a.m. So this is going to be a week's worth of utility work to get that repaired and to get that highway reopened. That is going to cause some headaches tomorrow morning for sure during the rush hour. So just be prepared. Might want to head out the door if you're heading into downtown or nearby a lot earlier than you had anticipated. We did have some emergency vehicles 64 westbound before I-44. That has since been cleared. Right now it is all about utility work in that area, all lanes closed. And she went through the other closures, including I-70, heading in and out of downtown. It's 11:06. I'm Tom Ackerman, KMOX News.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. It is great to be with you. We had a great conversation with Mike Claiborne about Flag Day. That is the marker that he uses for how good are the Cardinals, are they the real deal, and sort of what they need to do moving forward. We're going to talk to Chaim Bloom and Bernie Miklasz about that this hour. We also had Chris May, the athletic director at St. Louis University, talked extensively about the current basketball program as well as the upcoming 3-game series with the University of Missouri. He also updated us on some of the other programs. And we look back at the New York Knicks winning the NBA title for the first time since 1973. It was some moment, and speaking after the game with reporters, Jalen Brunson said he's just thankful that the opportunity presented itself and they were able to get it done.
We're just going to describe it, but I'll say I put a lot of time and effort into trying to be the best player I can be to try and help a team win. Just really thankful I have the organization, the coaching staff, my teammates to have my back every single day. I think that means the most to me.
James in the
and
front
my family, sorry.
Brunson and his family, he said. Don't forget my family. And Brunson's going to go down as one of the great all-time Knicks. You're going to hear tomorrow all these sports shows are going to talk about who's the greatest Knick of all time. Just calm down. Jalen Brunson's in the conversation as one of the greatest Knicks of all time. Let's not forget Clyde Frazier. He won 2. And there are some other great Knicks, so we don't have to always do who's the greatest ever of blah, blah, blah. It's fine. It's just an incredible experience for the fans. This is about the fans. Here's Coach Mike Brown.
You know, to have the fans that we have in New York City and be able to bring home a championship after all these years is absolutely amazing. It's a surreal feeling. I don't know how long it's been since that final buzzer went off, but I still don't believe it. I'm pinching myself. I'm telling myself to try to be present. All the stuff that I tell these guys every single day, I'm trying to do because I can't believe it.
He's one of the great guys, Mike Brown. I don't know if you know this, but he was a video coordinator for the Pacers. I mean, he was in the back room looking at film back in the day. I mean, he's made the climb, Mike Brown. And they hired him, you know, kind of like I heard this earlier on another show, 880 in New York, commenting that he was kind of like the Joe Torre hire for the Yankees. Torre was one of those who was very good at managing people and who was a big name who had never won the big one. And that was a similar move. Torre ended up winning a whole bunch of championships. I don't know how many Mike Brown's going to be able to win, but who cares? They've won one, and it's a big one, without a doubt. And, oh, those fans. I mean, it was bedlam on Broadway. The Knicks winning that championship. Yes, there was mayhem, and yes, there was violence. There was reportedly a shooting in Times Square. Outside the Garden, fans roared as the Knicks rallied from 16 down to beat the Spurs. Fans were clashing with police. There were smashed windows on a police car. They were climbing scaffolding. They were climbing light poles. They were standing atop school buses. I mean, there was a moving fire truck, and some fans were trying to hitch a ride with it. NYPD said there were multiple arrests, wouldn't have a total until later on today. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt that you want to have a peaceful celebration, but it's a lot to ask sometimes in a city where you have so many people and such a small footprint. For New York, they don't win a lot of championships. You would think that they do, but they don't. I mean, the Yankees haven't won since 2009. And that's the last time they won a championship, the Yankees. The Rangers don't win all that often. The Islanders don't. The Giants won some. Drew's a big Giants fan. I know that. Eli Manning delivered a couple, but that's not at the level, I don't think, of this. The Jets obviously will have a long way to go. They go back to Joe Namath. Mets haven't won since '86. I mean, you can go right down the line. I mean, they have great fan bases, very few championships to celebrate. In all, the last report I saw, 63 people were arrested, and certainly that's nothing to sniff at here. That's something certainly to pay attention to. You want to be able to please be safe when you celebrate. It does, though, just to circle back to what I said at the end of last hour, is that, it unites the city. I know that's the bad. There was a lot of good. I mean, you have a lot of generations, families together, celebrating together, all loving one basketball team. And I feel that way about the Cardinals in St. Louis, with all respect to the Blues and to City and to the Battlehawks and to St. Louis University and every other team that comes through here and plays a season. It's the St. Louis Cardinals who are the region's team. We are a baseball town among other sports, but it's the Cardinals who I think have the history that can bring people together. They also happen to have a lot of championships, but it has been since 2011, and when it does come back together, it will be a massive celebration once they do. We're going to talk to Chaim Bloom at 11:30, Bernie Miklasz at 11:45. But coming up next, people ask, who's next now? I mean, Indiana football wins a national championship. Nobody expected that. The New York Knicks finally win a championship. Did anyone expect that they would actually do it? I'll throw the question out next segment. Does Team USA have a chance? Do they have even a sliver of a chance to make this World Cup interesting? We'll talk to Jen Siess about it next on KMOX.
Data centers don't wait, and neither should your supply chain. From power and connectivity to racks and critical power, Graybar brings the products and the experience data centers need now. And with deep inventory and logistics expertise, we keep projects moving from first delivery to final install. With hundreds of locations and a nationwide delivery fleet, we help you bring facilities online, on time, and on budget. Yep. Graybar does that.
With summer here and the kids home full-time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and covered selections.
Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best. If you want a new deck, a new patio, a new fence, maybe you want to go so far as a new screen room or a new sunroom, you don't need to go any further than Chesterfield Fence and Deck, and it might be easier to put together than you think. Chesterfield Fence and Deck has a great team. They will walk you through the process, a free in-home consultation. They'll take a look at your property and say, all right, here's some ideas we've come up with that we can build on your property, and the fact that we can work within your budget also. Since 1968, they've been doing it, so they have the experience. You know, you're going with a company that does it right, with the best people, the best materials, and the best warranties. That is Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, located in Chesterfield Valley, is a great place to start. Go to chesterfieldfence.com and then make your way to the showroom, which is like an indoor neighborhood. You just walk through, and they have it all set up for you. Sunrooms, screen rooms, patios, pergolas, decks, fences. Everything is right there. All the materials and the people to talk about it with you. They are great. Chesterfield Fence and Deck. In fact, mention me, Tom Ackerman. You'll get 20% off your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Shows Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, rock star. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Fans at Energizer Park exploding as Team USA scores a victory over Paraguay in the first match in the World Cup. Joining us from our city broadcast team on Y98 is Jen Siess. Jen, it's great to have you on sports on a Sunday morning. How you doing today?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. And it's great to come on when the USA had their win. It was a great night.
Yeah, it was a great night. And I do believe two things are true. One, Paraguay is not close to the competition you're going to see here down the road. Just with all respect, they're not. But I also think that it's one of the best, if not, I can't remember a U.S. team in the World Cup that looked better than this to me. How about to you?
Yeah, that's true. When you look at the rankings before everybody entered into the World Cup, and there's always a few little bit of adjusting due to their most recent friendlies and the things that they do. Paraguay is 41st, while the USA was ranked 17th. So that gives you a little bit of flavor of what that looked like, where Turkey is 22nd and Australia is 27th. So that'll be a little bit closer, of course. And to your point, you're exactly right. This was a historic scoreline since I think it was They're the largest victory World Cup margin since 1930. It marked the first time the U.S. men's national team that the team scored 4 goals in a single World Cup match. So definitely something that they did. They made their own luck by pressing. They did have a moment where they gave up a goal that they should not have. They will not be able to do that against Australia, against Turkey, and of course, if they get through the group stage, once you get into the knockout phase and you're facing higher ranked teams, you can't do that at all.
Yeah, it was a game they had to have, and they did get it. What is the difference with this team compared to past teams, do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a lot you can say about Mauricio Pochettino. There was a long time that the United States was calling for other kinds of coaching. Get us a great coach from across the pond. And we certainly did that. And then it was an adjustment because Mauricio Pochettino sees the game a little bit differently. He has coached in systems that bring up their youth in the beautiful game much, much differently. So it took him a little while to get his hands around what does this look like with the players I have? And he's made some adjustments and not necessarily popular adjustments with some. Our own St. Louis and Josh Sargent was left off the roster. He's made other calls that for him, the guys that are going to get it done were not necessarily the ones that had been favored in previous years. So I think it's a little bit of that, a little bit of seeing the game a different way, a little bit less of relying on the people who have been maybe veterans or alumni in the game, and then getting these guys to see it together. And I believe in a recent interview, he was talking about the U.S. men's national team performance and, of course, knows their ranking in the world and, of course, knows the beats they will have to slay to be able to get far and said, has kind of instilled the belief along with Tim Ream of why can't it be us? Why can't we do something amazing again? And it seems like the guys believe it.
You want to win this and finish first in this pool because you would face a third-place opponent in the round of 32. Isn't that right?
Yes, right. That's right. So the higher up you go, the better your seeding you get to face the opponent of a lower ranking, of course. So you definitely don't want to be one of those third-place teams. So when we get done with the group stage, we've got 24 teams, 2 from each group of 12, and then you have to make up the difference to get to 32 teams. And when you do that, you go across all the groups and take the top third-place team. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to pick one from each group, but it's the top third-place teams. So if you're the third-place team, I hope you enjoyed your ride. You're probably going to face a France or an England, and you're probably done with the dance. But if you are first in your group, for sure, you face a lower-ranked seed and can get further along, and that would be great for a host country like the United States.
You want dynamic playmakers, and the play that Pulisic made on that first goal was incredible. I mean, splitting the defenders, his hesitation, and then just making a play that actually went off one of the Paraguay players. It was all created by Pulisic.
Yeah, 100%. And shout out, too, to the USA defense. That ball to Pulisic came from like 100 yards out. So it's not only him getting in, it's Weston McKennie getting in with him and working together. Those two together with their combination play are a threat. And what they do is they draw the eyes of the defense. And then you've got Folarin Balogun over on the center, the big striker, who had a choice 3 years ago to play either for growing England, where he grew up, or for the United States, where he was born, and he chose the United States, and it's certainly paying off now. So, yeah, the dynamic attack with McKennie, with Pulisic, and, of course, Balogun were really hard for Paraguay to deal with. Australia, of course, has got a higher ranking, and they've got big, solid backs, and they park the bus in the back. So that's going to be a little bit harder for the U.S. men's national team to try to pick apart, pull apart that defense, and find those ways to score and put at least one, if not two, in the back of the net so we can win the top of this group.
Jen, our listeners know that I've made fun of L.A. as a sports town over many, many years, but they came through that night. It was tremendous. The fans have to come through for this team, and I thought the crowd was amazing. Granted, it was a collection of people from all over the world, I'm sure, making it in, or from all over the country to see the team, but it was a great atmosphere. I'm curious what the atmosphere was like at Energizer Park.
Well, it was great. Of course, we don't have the same kind of vibes there, but from getting there, I got there a little later than I wanted to. It started at 5, and it was already pretty kicking around 6:30 or so when I finally got there due to traffic, due to my kids had soccer practice. But yeah, it was great to watch the music, listen to the music, watch people playing cornhole and washers and just talking about the game and getting really excited for it. And hearing from Mr. Soccer Bill McDermott, of course, our own Brad Davis, along with Kristen Carver with St. Louis City, talking about those previous years and what the United States had to do the Friday night to win. And pretty much everything Bill and Brad talked about the United States did, and it was so great too because every activity that was going on, whether people were kicking balls with each other or playing cornhole or whatever, stopped about 10 minutes before the game started. Everybody sat down, and everybody's eyes were glued on all those TVs at Energizer Park on the Lou Fuse Plaza. And it was just so great to see everybody rise up and hug one another. And I'm pretty sure some people were hugging each other that didn't even know each other, but they were so excited about the goal, and then it just kept coming.
Now, next up is Australia, and that's happening on Friday, Jen. That's going to be a day game, right? I think at 2 o'clock.
That's right. 2 p.m. game against Australia. Again, just to look at that ranking again, Australia is 27th. So that's, a bit higher than Paraguay at 41st. So that's going to look like a different game for the United States. It'll be nice. It's kind of nice, definitely nice to have the beautiful game, the World Cup on our home soil because we get to watch them at more decent times rather than overnight when it's held in other countries. But yeah, while Australia plays defensively, they will park the bus. They've got big guys in the back. They have a 6'6" defender. They've got those guys that can keep you out and really keep you out past the 18. So the only thing also you have to watch for Australia is once they find space on the United States, they're going to look to counterattack. And they are very, very dangerous in that counterattack as well. So the United States is going to have to take a little bit of a different approach with a team who wants to sit back, absorb pressure, let you keep coming at them, and just wait for the moment that you mess up so they can go forward and maybe put a ball in the back of your net. So it'll be a different game for Mauricio Pochettino to coach with this team come Friday.
I know there are a lot of watch parties going on in St. Louis, one of the great soccer towns in America. In fact, I drove through the Bevo neighborhood while Bosnia and Herzegovina was playing, and there was a group of fans spilling out into the street watching it on a big screen right there on gravel. I mean, it's awesome, and there are U.S. watch parties everywhere, but I'm not sure there's one better than the one at Energizer Park. So you have one this coming Friday against Australia, and then let's not leave out next Thursday. That's a late one now, 9 o'clock start against Turkey. So a really exciting month for St. Louis City SC.
Yes, for sure. And I think, too, Tom, I saw something probably on socials when the USA was playing this first game. I believe it was somewhere off McKnight that the road was shut down because people had filtered into the street to watch the game on screens. People had their screens outside on their apartments or their homes so everybody could watch. So, yeah, the environment is infectious. I love to see our home country get a little bit more taste of what this game looks like on a regular basis, not just the World Cup fever, but how other countries approach this game on a game-by-game, even club basis, and the excitement of that. So there'll be a lot of excitement in that. And then, yeah, we've got to look for the United States to come up big again against Turkey, who, again, that's their highest-ranked opponent in the group. They are 22nd. Australia's 2-0 win over Turkey was an upset. So they'll be riding high. This will be a good, really, really difficult game for the United States.
All right. It's going to be a lot of fun to follow this month. It's only going to get bigger from here and the World Cup. And Jen Siess is following it for us, St. Louis City SC. Fantastic reporter and host. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Back in a moment with Chaim Bloom, Cardinals president of baseball operations on KMOX.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, rock star. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Accounts subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Dell PCs with Intel Inside are built for the moments you plan and the ones you don't. For the time you forgot your charger at the gate.
Passengers, we are now on our initial ascent.
Or when you're bouncing between projects like a ping pong ball. We build PCs with long-lasting battery life, so you're not scrambling for an outlet. And built-in intelligence, so you can stay focused on whatever you're doing. Dell Technologies, built for you. Dell.com/Dell PCs.
Get ready for a night back with legendary hits and non-stop energy. Bryan Adams is bringing the Roll with a Bunches tour to Enterprise Center Friday, July 24th.
Hello, this is Bryan Adams.
Sing along to the classics as Bryan Adams delivers an unforgettable night of rock anthems. Plus, special guests Pat Benatar and Neil Girardo. Bryan Adams, July 24th. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
I feel like I'm getting robbed when I bet the Stanley Cup on a sportsbook.
Dude, delete that app. You need to be using Polymarket.
Polymarket?
Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for greedy sportsbooks.
Even during the Stanley Cup?
Especially during the Stanley Cup. Polymarket is an official prediction market of the NHL.
No way. What's the catch?
No catch. And it's available in all 50 states. Polymarket is so confident you'll never go back, they're giving you $50 free on your first trade.
I'm deleting my sportsbook app. How do I get started?
Download Polymarket now and use promo code SHOT for $50 free for your first trade. Stop letting sportsbooks steal from you. Download Polymarket and use promo code SHOT for $50 free on your first trade. Use promo code SHOT.
Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
When it comes to your hearing, you deserve expert care. At the Audiology Center, you're treated by certified audiologists Dr. Colleen Bosler, Dr. Adam Foss, and Dr. Bailey Campbell, meaning 8 years of advanced education, clinical expertise, and a commitment to best practices.
Charlie, we offer hearing aids from all major manufacturers, so you get what's best for you. Every patient receives individualized testing, precise fittings using real ear measurements, and personalized programming to ensure your hearing aids perform exactly as they should. And our care doesn't stop once you leave the office. We're committed to helping your hearing aids last through ongoing adjustments, maintenance, and long-term support at no extra cost. Better hearing is personal, not one size fits all. Call us today at 636-441-7470 or visit us online at theaudiologycenter.stl.com. And let's take that first step together.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
The 3-1 pitch is hit hard and deep, left field. Could it go? It's a big fly. Home run for Blaze Jordan, his first in the major leagues. A 3-run shot, and the Cardinals have scored 5 times here in the 7th inning. What a great moment for Cardinal rookie Blaze Jordan.
Ricky Horton with the call on KMOX yesterday, and a good call and a great moment for Blaze Jordan. Joining us is Cardinals President of Baseball Operations, Chaim Bloom. Good morning, Chaim.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. How about that moment? How about the St. Louis Cardinals bashing their way to a 9-6 win over the Twins? And Blaze has been blazing here coming out of the minor leagues in his first couple games.
Yeah, pretty cool. I don't know that this is what we have a right to expect every day, but great to see him put together some really good at-bats in his first taste of the big leagues.
Yes, you are, as always, managing expectations here, but you have to marvel, I would think, at the lineup continuity just as a whole here. You are starting to find that pitchers don't have a lot of places where they can hide with this lineup.
Yeah, and that's been one of the cool things about this is, even going back to when we got Nelson here, we got Jimmy up here. You now have, if you're sitting in Ollie's chair, you now just have different options on a given day. And also, different options in game just to make life difficult, make it harder for the opposing manager to strategize. And you're seeing that today. Obviously, we got to make sure we take care of all of our players, and we can put a different look out there while getting Mason a day and getting Burley off his feet a little bit, which is pretty neat.
You made the move for Blaze Jordan, but it was also a move to send Nolan Gorman to AAA. What is next for Nolan Gorman, Chaim?
Well, this is one Ollie said this, I thought, very clearly the other day. There's two things here. One, obviously, we felt that Blaze had earned a shot to contribute. Understanding, like we said, he obviously burst on the scene the way he did, but you don't know that that's going to be the case, and you're going to ride ups and downs with young players. But the bottom line is we felt he had earned his shot, and there was some opportunity there. And then for Nolan, he's just in a tough spot. I don't have to tell you that or anybody who's been watching the club. And you've heard me say it, probably even just on this show. I've probably said it, a dozen times, that we know what the better version of Nolan Gorman looks like. We also could see that that's not where he is right now. And so, we're actually going to work with him away from the major league environment and even away from games for a little while, just to get him back to his best self. And some of that can best be done more on the side. We've had some success with this over time with different players, and he's in a spot where I think he's ready for it, and our people will be excited to sink their teeth into him and try to get him back to his best self, because we know that plays.
How are things going with Victor Scott right now?
Well, just great to have a chance for him to play every day at the top of the lineup. Obviously, there's been a few games now that he's played, some better, some worse, but overall we've gotten to see him hit the ball with a little more authority than we saw him do on a regular basis up at the big leagues, and that's what we're hoping for. Obviously, again, he's another one of these guys that there are things he contributes to the game that never waver just because of who he is in terms of what his legs can do, in terms of what he can do with his glove. It's the bat where it's been tough to get him going consistently, and this is an opportunity to do that, and that's underway. Obviously, when you send a player down like that, you at once think, okay, he's still in our plans. He's still going to contribute to us at some point. You also know that because there's other players up here that have earned and will get opportunity, that you can't tell the player exactly when that's going to be. So it's not necessarily that there's an end date on it. It's just a point where you hope you look back in a player's career and see that he and we use that time really, really well to get him to his offensive ceiling, because we all have believed for some time now that there is a better hitter in there than what he has shown. And with a little more bat, the rest of that profile becomes really, really dangerous. So that's what we're working towards.
As Blaze Jordan comes up, and again, you manage expectations here, and maybe not something you expect every day, but he's slugging and he's getting things done. Of course, eyes are getting big when they see Joshua Baez. How do you assess what Baez is accomplishing, and when you think he would be big league ready? What would that look like?
Well, obviously, he's been doing some great things down there. I mean, he's, just in terms of the pure power, it's about as good as anybody's got in the minor leagues. When he gets into a ball, he really gets into a ball. It's early in the season, that was mostly coming against left-handed pitchers. We're starting to see a little more of it against righties, which is good. And there were some things early in the season, actually, that just in terms of the swing and the approach, some things that were kind of going in the wrong direction relative to what he was showing us in spring training. And we do think we have those headed back in the right direction now. Obviously, there's still a little bit more swing and miss than you would like. That's always going to be part of his game. That's not something that, you don't expect him to flip into a completely different type of player, but that's still something that he needs to work to corral, and will continue to. So, he's doing well. This is not, to me, really none of our players do we ever want to undercook them, so to speak, before we call them up. But again, when you look at where he was 2 years ago, what he accomplished last year, even starting off a little slowly, like I mentioned, especially against right-handed pitching, he's now starting to pick it up. He's right where he needs to be to me. There's definitely some things to work on there, and you want to make sure he's ready to be an impactful everyday player when he does come to the big leagues, because he certainly has that ceiling.
That's Chaim Bloom talking about Joshua Baez. While we're talking about minor league talent, and I'm not saying this tongue-in-cheek, I'm actually saying this in all seriousness, is there any bullpen help available? I mean, the bullpen, I think you've had to take a deep breath from time to time when they've been out there. Do you have depth? Do you have reinforcements?
Yeah, and obviously the last couple of days have showcased that, right? I mean, including from some guys who have done some good work, and it just wasn't there the last couple of days. The short answer to your question is yes. I do think we have guys that are coming. I don't know if we would have said that in the same way on opening day, but as the season has gone on, we've got some guys there who are pitching their way into our picture, who are advancing on the goals that we wanted them to advance on, and really, showing some things at the AAA level. And I do think as we get deeper into the season, and it's really something we talk about literally almost every day, is where these guys at and when's the right time to introduce them and bring them here to contribute. We don't want to be too knee-jerk with the guys who are here in a sense, right? There's some guys that are contributing a ton on our club, really on both sides of the ball, who at one point it would have been easy to throw up your hand and say, we want anybody else than these guys. And then you turn around and you look and they're doing good work. We've talked a lot about bringing Soriano in here, coming off a stretch like that with another club, and seeing a little more in there. So we want to make sure we're not selling guys short just because some of those bumps have happened with us. And at the same time, there's pressure and there's competition coming from some of these guys at AAA. So short answer is yes. who we see and when, I don't have any concrete answers for you yet, but it's definitely something as we get deeper into the summer, whether it's temporarily, whether it's permanently, there are some guys who are doing some good work down there that we want to give a chance to contribute, just like we've started to see on the offensive side from some of those guys coming up from Memphis.
I believe you can ill afford to have a starting pitching injury. As it is, you have a couple of pitchers, Liberatore and Leahy most recently, who have difficulty once they run into the fourth, fifth, or sixth inning. How do you see that right now? And could you be creative? Do you start to morph into using more bridge relievers, more hybrids? How do you see all that?
Well, we got a little bit of a taste of that, right, with a sort of an opportunity that got thrust in our laps a little bit when we brought Hunter up a couple weeks ago. And obviously we want to keep him on a starter schedule too. I think that's really important to do with all 6 of these guys, just knowing that we're about to enter, we're actually already entered, like a really tough stretch where, you know it's going to beat your guys up a little bit. It was huge for him to be able to contribute some in long relief and then still keep him available to be able to start that last day in New York so he could give everybody else a blow and keep them strong. And, certainly that is something that as we look at these guys in AAA, the ability to go multiple innings is really critical. We saw it obviously with Swanson. We've seen it with Graceffo in the past. Having those guys to help insulate you when you do want to get aggressive with a starting pitcher is important. I will say this. I think it's important for us understanding that not everybody is the same, and there is an art to learning how to turn over a lineup, that third time. I don't think when you zoom out and you look at starting pitchers, it's that you're ever well served to say, hey, this guy can and this guy can't. Because first of all, guys do make progress. They change. And we also know just from a lot of both just good old common sense and a lot of research that, some of this is just the hitters getting more comfortable, and everybody's really susceptible to it to some degree. It's just that certain guys, whether it's because of the depth of their repertoire or the way they pitch or just, an ability to switch things up on guys in terms of approaching hitters when they turn that lineup over, they might be a little less susceptible to it than others. And so our job is to make sure that all these guys, whether it's, again, physically or approach-wise, are maxing out their ability to keep turning over that lineup, and then also to make sure that we have some insulation behind them so that whether it's those guys or somebody else, if Ollie and Dusty want to get aggressive and, try to hold a game right there in the middle innings, and not play with fire like you sometimes have to over the course of 162, that they have options to do that.
Last thing here, I don't think I'm getting too far ahead of myself here. We're talking 6 weeks until the trade deadline, so I think it's appropriate to ask. Everybody likes to categorize teams, buyers or sellers. Do you see it that way? Or is it a fluid situation? Do you stay the course? Are those conversations happening on whether you should stay the course, or is that pretty much set as to what your philosophy is here from the get-go?
Yeah, I think big picture, to say, hey, we're not going to stay the course, that usually doesn't go well, right? But for me, the course is this big picture of everything we've been talking about since the fall, which is trying to build something that can last, build something that can contend for championships annually and that can last. And so anything that pushes us towards that, we want to consider. Now, what that means is, again, the other thing I've been saying, I think since then, is there's no point at which we were trying to do that and say that we don't also want to experience success right here in the moment. We certainly do. Now, when we have those trade-offs, if we get away from that long-term goal, shame on us, because that's really what we need to deliver over time. But a lot of it, we said we do want to have that success in the here and now. We just want to come by it honestly. We want to come by it by having it be the byproduct of giving ourselves a lot of pleasant surprises on the way to doing what we're trying to do in the big picture. And that's actually served us really well so far. There's been a lot of things that we've done, including some of the moves that you and I have talked about on this call, that we felt had a chance to serve us both right now and also help build this thing to where we want it to go. And so to me, those are the things we want to hunt most of all, and not think too much in terms of stuffing ourselves into a box that somebody else wants to put us in. It's really more about just keeping our eyes focused on the goal, giving ourselves as many possible chances to reach it, and then making sure that we don't concede anything in the here and now while we're doing that.
It's always a highly anticipated conversation from our listeners and fans. It's Chaim Bloom, Cardinals President of Baseball Operations. Thank you for doing this every Sunday morning. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Cardinal baseball at 1:10 today against the Twins. Bernie Miklasz is next.
When you're at work, you never know when you'll be interrupted. But with the Dell Pro, powered by Intel Core Ultra with vPro, no matter what distracts you, your laptop won't. It's battery optimized for the way you work with built-in intelligence that quiets distractions when you need to focus. Your laptop will help keep you locked in, even when it's bring your dog to work day. Built for those who stay in the flow. The Dell Pro, built for you. Dell.com/Dell-Pro.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infinity QX65 and by Lowe's. Give your yard its own moment with the new limited time deals from Lowe's.
Mexico opens the tournament as a co-host with the weight of a passionate nation on its back. Their technically brilliant goalkeeper and creative attackers drive a side that has long been built on flair, craft, and an electric home atmosphere.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Hey, it's Matt and Leslie Holiday. When we got to St. Louis, it wasn't long before we started searching for a way to give back.
We visited Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, and we knew this is where we belonged.
Homers for Health has been going strong for 15 years and has made such an unbelievable impact on the hospital. I've won a World Series, but I consider the work we have done at Cardinal Glennon to be the greatest achievement.
Yes, your support truly makes a difference. Make your pledge for patients today at homersforhealth.org to benefit the devoted fund.
Hi, this is Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. This is it. Make no mistake, this is your last chance to live in the beautiful Cotterville Trails. We have a wide variety of market-ready homes and several home sites on a cul-de-sac that back to common ground. Save over $58,000 plus special 4.75% financing on select homes for qualified buyers. Visit McKelveyHomes.com. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
Save big money on your next project now at Menards. For softer skin and cleaner clothes, shop our great selection of water softeners. They eliminate hard water stains and scale buildup throughout your home. Plus, Morton's look-ahead technology learns and predicts your water needs, saving you money. Save big on Morton water softeners, and don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infinity QX65 and by Lowe's. Give your yard its own moment with the new limited time deals from Lowe's.
Australia's Socceroos are a combative, never-say-die side built around European-based players hungry to prove themselves. Their athletic midfield and a clinical forward who can finish in tight spaces make them more than capable of upsets.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, I want to tell you that Circa Sports is a great site to use when it comes to sports betting. It is sports betting the way it should be. The name of the app is Circa Sports. Ask anyone who's used it. You can ask me if you want, and I will tell you that Circa Sports is a great app. It's easy to use. That's probably my favorite thing about it is it's so player-friendly. I've been talking about it for a while now, and I've been singing its praises. You're talking about basketball's over now, and I was all over the Knicks, as you may know, but hockey is still going, and baseball is still going. And if you look at the Circa Sports app, you're going to find a lot of other sports are there for your pleasure. It is Circa Sports, sports betting the way it should be. Here's all you have to do. You just go to your app store on your device, and you download the Circa Sports app. Or you can go to circasports.com, and you'll find it right there, very easy to pick up. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Have you ever stopped to consider the cultural power of an everyday object like lipstick? In the book Lipstick, Eileen Giselle does just that. It's part of Object Lessons, the series, which explores the hidden significance and cultural impact of ordinary things. And Eileen takes us on a journey with Lipstick on the next Book Chat with Debbie Monterey and St. Louis Public Library, only on Facebook. It's Tuesday at noon. If you're not a member yet, join us today. St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine.
Considering buying or selling a home? When it comes to the Gelman team with eXp Realty, numbers don't lie. Over 1,500 Google and Zillow 5-star reviews, nearly 6,000 homes, and $2.5 billion in real estate sold. Call 314-336-1991, thegelmanteam.com.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
I have 7 minutes on the clock with Bernie Miklasz. That's because I went long with Chaim Bloom. Sorry about that, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. You should go as long as you want. If you have to cut me from the squad for on a Sunday because you want to talk to Chaim, go for it, man. Send me down to Memphis. It's all right.
We only get them once a week, so you got to hit them with as much as possible. And I know I could talk to you about the Knicks. I could talk to you about Team USA, but I know what our listeners want. They want to hear your takes on the Cardinals. So the Cardinals are going for another series win, and it seems like almost every move that Chaim makes turns to gold. Here's another one in Blaze Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. I give him a lot of credit, the organization a lot of credit, because they had some serious reservations about, all right, can we trust Blaze Jordan to play third? And they had moved him off third. But then you noticed last week they put him back at third for a couple games. And to me, that was like they were dropping a hint. Well, we need to look at this again. And they had a meeting, and everybody talked and said, hey, listen, he's playable at third base. And the other thing is Nolan Gorman is drowning. He's drowning, and, it's not going to get better unless, he can sort of get out of here and then go down to the hitting lab down in Memphis and work on things. Plus, Ramon Urias, they got some bad news on him that he was going to be out a lot longer. So they had to look at Blaze Jordan again, and they decided that, his offense performance is so good that, listen, he can play third. He's got good hands. His range is not the greatest. Lateral movement, not the greatest. But he can make routine plays, and he can really boost our offense. So I love the fact they circled back, and it's a great organization. In that way, with this front office, they'll reassess things. They have an opinion on a player, but they're constantly reassessing. So this was just the latest addition. And, Tom, if you look at, it started before Lars Nootbaar got back, but they brought up Brian Torres, and they brought up Nelson Velasquez, Jimmy Crooks, Nathan Church. Then you add Newt to the mix. They expanded Jose Fermin's role. And in a really short time, very short time, Chaim Bloom has basically given the Cardinals an entirely new bench. And they took their biggest weakness that they had before June 5th, which was the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots in the lineup. Were just, the numbers are just, you look at them now and you just laugh. They were so awful. But now they can fill in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 much, much better. And those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lineup spots, since Chaim Bloom started making these moves, 789 OPS, 23 RBIs, 430 slug. I mean, if you look at the before and after picture, they had the weakest 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, lineup sequence in the majors from May 1st through June 4th. It was the worst. Since he made these changes and Newt came back, since June the 5th, that was started the Red Series, the Cardinals 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots collectively, fifth best, number 5 in the majors.
Are you ready for this? Here's your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters in today's lineup. Nootbaar, Jordan, Torres, Fermin, and Church. But here's the twist. Here's your infield today. Blaze Jordan at first, Brian Torres at second, Jose Fermin at third, and starting at shortstop, J.J. Weatherholt.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. And that was his position at West Virginia. And I didn't think they would want to mess with moving him away from second base. But I was talking to Chaim the other day, and they never thought like it's a point blank thing. Oh, no, we're not going to mess with that. They think it's good to get him some experience at those other two infield positions, or shortstop and third base. They don't rule it out because they think every now and then it makes sense, and actually it does, you know. But I was, the people that wanted Weatherholt to just flat out move from second and be their third baseman the rest of the way or whatever. I mean, that was never going to happen.
No,
all due respect, it just wasn't going to happen.
Last thing,
but I think.
Yeah.
But again, it just shows you the flexibility and how they reassess things. They don't dig into a position and get all stubborn and say, no, we're not going to do that. They're always reevaluating.
Last thing, about a minute or so. What are you doing with this bullpen, particularly closer?
Well, what I'm doing with the bullpen is taking a look at the starting rotation, because I don't think you can continue on with Leahy and Liberatore. And keep in mind, they pitch back-to-back. They work on consecutive days. Their shortage of innings in their starts has become a really big problem because it's wiping out the bullpen. You know, the Cardinals had that game in New York where Dobbins only went 4 1/3. So, the last 3 games, the Cardinals bullpen has worked only 1 fewer inning than the Cardinals starters. And, you just run out of bullpen arms. I mean, you can't just gas these guys and break these guys in the middle of June. You got to be careful. So that really limits Ali Marmol's options. But if they could just get 6 innings, out of Liberatore more often and get 6 innings out of Leahy, I mean, the bullpen would be in much better shape. It really would be. But they're just getting worn out because the back end of the rotation I should say Leahy and Liberatore, they're just not providing the innings. It's as simple as that.
Our visits with Bernie Miklasz are sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Appreciate you, my man. Have an amazing day, and we'll have the Cardinals for you at 1:10.
All right, Tom. Take care.
All right, pal. Our producer, Drew Young. Scott Warman's coming up with pregame. I'll have the news here at noon on KMOX.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are